time for Cigar Talk, the fastest growing cigar show in the nation. Whether you're a new cigar enthusiast or a cigar aficionado, we have something for everyone. Bringing you the best interviews, cigar reviews. So grab yourself a cigar.
It's time to light them up.
Welcome back, Cigar Talk. I'm your host, Rob Jones. We got Bryant Falconer, co-host of Cigar Talk. How's it going, bro?
Hey, man, I'm doing good.
Awesome, man. So, it's been a week.
Yes, sir.
It's been a busy week.
Yes, sir.
And that is both, I mean, for me, it's both work and Cigar Talk. I mean, it's just been like going.
Nonstop.
You know? Yeah.
Nonstop.
And so, but you know, my wife says that I'm a workaholic, and I told her I don't feel that way because I enjoy doing what I do.
I enjoy it also. It's a break, but it's fun in that break. You know what I'm saying? It's an opportunity to go do some things and talk and be amongst
And you know, there's a
good people.
And there's a certain level of like when you have conversations like we do before and after the show,
Yeah.
there is a lot of trust there.
Has to be.
Right. I mean, because I don't want to go to prison. I think that's obvious. And so, you know, it's just the studio is a place where we come and have fun. We get to talk about life. We enjoy a lot of good cigars, a lot of good bourbon, and it's like having your own lounge because it's like maybe a smaller group of us.
Yeah.
But I feel the same way at the Leaf. When I go back there, I mean, we have close community that we can just like be just yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Be
There's
yourself.
no pretenses in the cigar community.
It shouldn't be.
Well,
That's the thing. It shouldn't be.
well, I mean, I don't really see that as an issue in the Leaf. I mean, you got to look at the overall.
Yeah.
You're always going to have
That one.
that that two, that, you know, they're just how they are.
Yeah.
And I want to make them feel horrible so they never come back. No, I'm just kidding.
But it's you don't want to make it feel hard, but to not come back. But you want them to understand that their actions are not what is expected or accepted.
But also this. I mean, when I go in, I'm hanging out with friends. And the thing about it is, there's that trust.
Oh, yes.
Because just like when we're here, we're being who we are.
Oh, yes.
And whether you like what I say or you don't, we're still good friends.
Most definitely.
And that allows you
To be you.
to be me,
Yeah.
which you don't always get to be you,
Yeah.
depending on if you're in the corporate world,
Definitely not you.
if you're hanging out with your wife. No, I'm just kidding. Honey, I'm kidding. So, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So when you go to a lounge and there's that one or two guys that are always trying to impress people,
Yeah, I hate
and
that.
it's like, all right,
Wrong
so
place
now,
for that.
now I know that I'm like, if I hang out with you, I either can't be myself or you're fixing to learn a lesson.
That's true. It's true. One of the two. You're either gonna not get to know who I am,
Right.
or it's gonna be a hard lesson learned, and then you're gonna be like, okay, well, what about this dude? Hey, you brought that upon yourself.
Right.
It's not like I came out with this intention of being that person, but you brought that out of me. So don't get mad at me. Check yourself.
And I don't even see it that way.
Yeah.
I see it as when I spread truth, you should feel fortunate.
That's a way to spread truth.
We're right between the eyes. Right between. I want you to see it coming. Boom.
Oh my God.
It is, you got to, I just like being honest, man.
There's nothing wrong with that because I believe everybody should be honest. I truly do.
What a better world it would be if you knew exactly what people were saying and meaning. We would be in a much better place.
Most definitely. When you have those friends that you have built relationships and you know who that person truly is, somebody tries to come and tell you something, you're like, nah, that's not their character. I'm not even falling for that.
Right.
Because you know that person. That's
Right.
a relationship that has been built. And that's what I have with a lot of people at the Leaf. You know, you, Larry, Jay, Corey, Scott, the manager. you know, those are those type of relationships where I know I know what these guys are. I know the parameters. I know how far they'll go. And if somebody comes try to tell me, well, they did this, I'm like, nah, that ain't them. What else happened? Let me get the entire situation, because just for them to fly off like that, something had to happen. So those are relationships that we try to build that should be built, not just in the Leaf, just like you said. That's the way the world should be.
Right.
But we don't see the world that way.
And you know what? And that's why it's so important to me that the cigar community remain that way. Because to me, dude, the cigar community is an example to the rest of the Americans.
Man,
you know what I mean?
I can't tell you how many times I speak to people about how I wind down. It's at the Leaf in the lounge. That's my opportunity to take all the craziness I've gone through, the state government, dealing with citizens, all this stuff, because nobody looks at me with a smile on their face. It's always something is wrong. I got to fix it. Or they say, well, you were the problem. No, we weren't the problem. You did this to yourself, but you need me to fix it. It's never good until the end. But I got to deal with all the craziness to get to the end. And that was the same thing as a police officer. Nobody had a smile on their face when they saw me unless they really needed me. And then it was like, okay, I still had to break down walls to get them to a point where they were accepting enough to say certain things.
And they wanted your help,
yes,
but at the same time, they didn't trust you.
No, because they still saw me as a cop.
Right. So I don't know how we got off on the cops and robbers shit, but, it is
It parlayed into the way that people see you. I want people to see me as me.
Now I can understand that.
Yeah.
But, to be fair, I quit listening for a while.
We know you, dude. Unless you're talking to you, don't listen to anybody.
Boom.
No, it ain't no. That's the truth.
It depends on what we're talking about.
Bruh.
Dude.
Bruh. We could be talking.
Did you hear the conversation I had with that former person that knew me that asked me for...
Oh, yeah, I heard the entire conversation.
And I listened. I acknowledged. I asked. I qualified.
The reason why was because you perfect. The last word you said, you were trying to qualify something. So you were listening intently to the entire conversation because you were waiting for those key words.
I had the bullet points lined out in my head and how I would tell him that each bullet points were wrong.
And you did.
And I did.
You did.
I explained it to him, but I was very honest. There was no...
True.
I was not malicious,
and
in my opinion.
The thing that got me was how... because I listened to all conversations intently, how he went from one subject to another, and then when he realized that he was kind of wavering on both ends, he tried to requalify in the middle, and he was stammering. He was like, and I was like, he got him.
Well, and it's not even so much that I got him, because the conversation isn't whether or not I get you. The conversation is for me to plant a seed for you to think about that there's not just black and white, and I'm going to jump on one side or the other because that's the side I fit in with. Think for yourself.
That's an anomaly today.
It is.
To think for yourself. I'm not just saying for other people. Right. We get caught in that situation at times ourselves. Just like we were sitting, me, you, and Larry were sitting here talking earlier, and me and Larry was talking about something. You sitting there, you're like, man, I like having conversations with guys like you because it helps me see things a little bit differently.
Let me qualify what he's saying.
He wants to explain.
Let me paint a picture for you.
And it's going to be an ugly picture.
So you got,
Van Gogh-ish.
when he says friends like you guys, he means my black brothers.
And I didn't want to say that.
I know you didn't want to say it, but I've always had friends that were black or any other race, but at the same time, I never had close friends of a different race.
Got you.
And so that experience is like, dude, let's start bringing more cultures, backgrounds together because there's a lot of shit that I learned. You guys, whether you want to admit it or not, have learned a lot from hanging out with me. You might not want to have learned it, but you did. Everything's educational. So
we were sitting there talking, and he pulled up. Rob told Larry to pull up the picture of me and him, and he's like, "Ooh, my leg is white."
I mean, put it on both of us over there. I mean, dude, look at that. That's like, I thought a light was coming from underneath the table. It's my leg. And then what did I say?
He said, I think I should. And we was like, no, no.
Before I even finished.
Nope. We know that's close friends. We knew what lane you were in.
Right. And it was
detour.
I'm going to just tell everybody, I said, would it be wrong of me if I painted my my leg and I heard no?
Yep, no. And we knew exactly where he was going with it.
But you know what? I mean, honestly, I asked that because I don't know if that would be. Would that be offensive? What if I painted it orange? What if I painted it green?
If you painted it orange, 45 would have a problem with that.
All right.
But see, that's the thing. People will find an issue with anything you do. It doesn't matter. And it doesn't matter how good it is. Somebody is going to find an issue with it.
And, here's the thing. Like, everybody that has ever heard me speak politically knows that I don't really do politics.
Nope.
But my core value is freedom for me.
100%.
And my freedom, as long as it doesn't impede on your freedom, then we just live our lives. And so I don't understand why the political system has to be difficult, because to me,
for one, it's what you said.
You have that philosophy, you're good.
It's the political system.
Right, I know.
That's the problem.
Hey, tell everybody, let's go ahead and get started with the show. We've been rambling here for a little bit. And hey, guys, sorry about that, but we will get we'll get right on
both
Cigars.
Taking the label off of it. So,
and all right, so the show is going to be called Rob Smoked Gurkhas. What the hell?
I'm glad. Yes.
That is called a stride.
A stride. A serious stride.
I am making strides, because that's not what came to mind.
No.
But anyway, because today we are smoking Gurkhas.
And there's a reason behind it.
We'll get to that.
Mm-hmm.
But you guys know that I have not been...
Not just you.
Like, supportive of Gurkha. Mm-hmm. I make fun of Gurkha. I tell jokes about Gurkha. I made a T-shirt that we sell on our website that says, friends.
That started this.
Don't let... My shirt says Gurkha.
Yep.
Because I don't want to get sued.
Copyright.
But we all know what it means. And so, anyway...
And someone saw it.
For me to be smoking a Gurkha, there's something going on.
Someone saw him in that shirt. And then a conversation sparked off of it. And a conversation went to the point of, try us again. What we were, we say we are not anymore.
Right.
Give us a chance.
Well, it was not quite that.
Listen to him. He's at a loss for words, people.
Oh, I spilt my tea. Give me your tea.
He's going to take my tea.
Give me your tea.
He's going to take my tea.
I got a pistol.
You have 3 over there. He doesn't just have 1. He has 3.
Yeah, you told my wife you already put your lips on it. I wouldn't drink it. I'm like, dude, when you leave bourbon. I'm like, yep.
Lord, help us, man.
Dude, you drink after me all the time.
Oh, Lord.
What? Don't you?
When?
You drink from the bottles that are not brand new when you come over here?
So what you say, you mouth them?
No, I don't mouth them. I just drink out of the bottle when you're not here.
Them. Yeah, you mouth them.
I don't really like the way that sounds.
God, man.
Hey,
I'm sticking with my bamboo.
Let's get that bourbon back over here.
I'm sticking with my bamboo.
You know I'm not drinking that. No, I'm not
sticking with my bamboo.
Pass that over here, please. So I'm drinking tonight. Put it over here right there, Larry. I'm drinking the Old Forester Bottle and Bond. It's 100 proof. Dude, what's the price point on that, Larry?
It's right there.
$29.99 for an Old Forester that's 100 proof and tastes like a great medley of flavors. It's got your spiciness. It's got your little bit of sweet. It's got that caramel. Dude, this is good stuff.
I got you.
I didn't know it was this cheap. Where'd you find this at?
That was at the water hole on North Trip.
Oh,
it was
the
here
water.
too. Yeah.
I've never been to the new watering hole.
Me neither.
I got to go by there because Sam, which is now Brad.
Yeah,
Okay,
Brad.
I didn't know if you knew.
I knew.
Okay, so Brad told me great things about it, and then Larry now tells me. So it looks like I'm not hip. I haven't been to the new liquor store because
You're not hip.
most of the liquor stores.
You
know
are a
me by
child of the
name.
70s. You are a child of the 70s.
So anyway, tell everybody what you're drinking.
Bamboo. XO. The black bottle.
Now, which one do you like better?
I truly like the XO because it's not as sweet as the regular bamboo.
Yeah.
You get more flavors, but you don't get overpowered with the sweetness. That sweetness is cool.
Which one's sweeter?
That
one or
no,
the other?
the other one.
Okay.
The other one.
Now, which one's more expensive?
This one.
Well, of course.
The one that's not as sweet.
That makes sense. When you go better, you go bigger, and you go more expensive.
higher. Yeah.
So now to what we are smoking.
Yes.
We're both smoking the same cigar tonight. And so, Larry, change cameras. There we go. There we go. So we're smoking the Gurkha Revenant. I've never heard of it because I usually just see Gurkha on there and I blow right off of that, But just looking at it before we started the show, it's a good looking stick.
It was.
I mean, like, it's a fine stick. I'm going to say, like, the wrapper reminds me of the 2019 Fine and Rare by Alec Bradley. So that's high. That's high standards. And then we read up on it because we didn't know anything about it.
We researched.
This is the Corojo.
Yes.
It's a Dominican Corojo. And then it has a Cameroon binder.
Yes, sir.
Which is a very interesting twist of what you're used to. And then you have a 98 Dominican Criolla, and that is mixed with a Nicaraguan.
Yes.
And then all of that, before it even is on retail, it's aged 13 years.
Yeah.
Dude. So, and I'm thinking, okay, well, let's tell how this came about.
Yeah.
So we were talking to Juan Lopez, which is the vice president of Gurkha, because he reached out.
Yes. After he saw the shirt.
He said, in more or less words, he said, I heard you're selling a shirt that says friends don't let friends smoke Gurkha. And
no, I don't. I wasn't.
But he followed up with, I wanted to talk with you and find out why you dislike Gurkha so much. And when's the last time you smoked a Gurkha? Has it been in the last 5 to 7 years? And if so, what is it that you're displeased with? So I sent him back a message and I said, I haven't smoked Gurkha in probably 5 or 7 years. And I mean, there's a lot of reasons I don't smoke Gurkha, but if you want to talk about it, I'd be more than happy to. And he said, well, let me send you some cigars, which was weird because usually if someone says, I'm going to send you some Gurkhas, I'm like,
don't worry about it.
I'm good. But I mean, when the vice president of a company
reaches out like
cares
that,
enough to talk to the little guys, because we are all the little guys.
Yes, sir.
And I was like, okay, well, you know what? I'm giving him some credit for that right there. And then so he sent us some cigars.
Yes, he did.
He goes, I want to send you some cigars. And I said, that's cool, but I need you to, whatever you send, I need 3 of them. So
For
we
each
can
one
all
of them.
smoke them because I don't want it to be just my opinion.
Got you.
You know what I mean?
Got you.
You being black adds some credibility to me.
Wow.
Hey, I gotta get
Wow.
my credibility established.
See, you want your street cred.
Right. I mean, if I go hang out in East St. Louis.
That's what I was going to say.
Wait. Let me say, if I go hang out in East St. Louis by myself, that's probably not a good thing.
Dude, I don't hang out in East St. Louis by myself.
But if me and you were together.
Still. We leaving. Get in the truck, Rob. Get in the truck, Rob.
All right. Let me say, if me and you, if I go hang out in
Dallas.
Okay. Same thing.
Yeah.
That's better.
Yeah.
So, but in East St. Louis, let's go.
Just go.
But you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I got
So
you.
anyway, I want him to send all of us a cigars.
Yeah.
And so this is the first one we're smoking together. And so I'm excited about it because, first of all, it's a beautiful stick.
It is.
Knowing it's aged 13 years, now you're raising the bar on my expectations.
I definitely
You know what I mean?
did.
It's like, don't let me down
Yeah.
because everything I'm reading is making me think you better be good. And it also makes me think it's like, okay, well, the dude is sending us like their $25,
Yeah.
$30
But then we looked at
cigars.
the price.
And we looked up the price, and a box of 20 was $145.
Yep.
That's somewhere in the neighborhood of $7.25.
Somewhere
a stick.
around there, yeah.
Okay.
So now
it's like, hey, all right, you have my attention on many levels.
Yeah.
And so then I cut it. The draw is like
cold draw was
spot
good.
on.
Yes, it was.
I didn't really notice any like popping out flavors, but the draw itself was really nice. I've lit it up, and so far
I haven't had any issue either.
Have you retro held it?
Yes.
I'm digging it.
Yes. I got a little bit of spice. It's not overpowering.
It's subtle.
Yes, it's very subtle, but you know it's there. And I'm picking up like this. It's not a floral, but I'm like, what is that? And I'm still trying to figure it out. And I love when sticks do that to me. It's not something I can.
Because it keeps you thinking
Yes.
about it. It's like, I know that, but
what is it? What is it?
Yeah.
And I love that with a stick because now you've piqued my interest. Now I really want to continue to smoke it because I want to figure out what am I tasting, what am I getting on my retrohale, what am I picking up on that? And this stick has me going there right now.
Right.
And as you saw when you gave me the, I saw girl, I was like, okay, here we go. But then you was like, no, it came from Juan. And I was like, okay, so these are the ones he wants us to try, the new Gurkha under the new auspices and the new mindset. And I'm like, okay, I'll give it a try. And I want a reason to say no.
Right. Because what he doesn't know is he's already at a disadvantage.
Yes.
Because we have a certain mindset, which even if you say, I'm going to give him a fair shake, to give Gurkha a fair shake, they got to be better than what I thought they would be.
Yes.
Because I don't think they're going to be very good.
And I didn't.
Right.
And right now I'm like, okay, I have to give them that fair shake, and it's good. Right now, I have no issues, none.
I would say it's an issue that I got to relight, but I went on a
But I didn't.
I went on a long tangent.
He said I was talking. I was actually talking. You didn't go LeBuckian on us in that entire, as you say, long tangent.
You don't know something.
What's that?
First of all, we now offer LeBuckian t-shirts. It just says LeBuckian right there and it has a little Cigar Talk logo. That's it.
You and Tim.
I'm getting Tim one for his birthday.
Oh my gosh.
You know his birthday's the day before mine. March 10th, March 11th. And do you know how, I don't even know how many birthdays, but there's been lots of them that we spend either on his birthday or my birthday.
Okay, I got you. Together.
Yeah.
Some kind of way.
That's just
cool.
the kind of friendship.
That's a friendship. I was going to say, that's a friendship. That's a true friendship.
37, 38 years now.
Wow.
And it's like, someone's saying wrap it up. Are you saying wrap it up? He didn't want to hear a story. After the story.
He said, wrap it up.
He's like, I don't like Tim. Just kidding, Tim. No, I'm serious. Anyway.
You are an asshole, dude.
Is that PG-13?
Yes, it is.
Fine. So anyway, right now, I'm digging it.
Yeah. I can't say I'm not.
And I'm it's like, that's,
it's hard.
It's impressive.
Yeah,
it's because
hard.
To meet the expectations that we put on this cigar, it had to be like over the top good.
And they're reaching it. That is a floral note, and I can't pick it up, man. God, I can't pick it up. What is it?
You know what I like?
What's that?
Is the retro hell. It's smooth with a little kick.
Yeah.
Like, I always tend to really enjoy a ultra smooth retro, but this one kicks it up a notch in that it starts out really smooth, but then it gives you a little kick on its way out the door.
Let you know I'm here. I was here,
and it's a nice kick.
Yeah,
it's not like ammonia that that's not even a kick.
Oh man,
that's like a battering ram on your ball sack. So
the visuals went past PG, and then he goes there. Oh man,
I like to paint a picture.
We don't want that picture.
Okay.
We don't.
I you know what I do.
But you're still going to do it. No matter what we want, you're going to do it.
I like taking you on a journey.
Oh, dude, you take us on a journey every week.
Some people say it's a dream. Some it's a nightmare. You get to pick. I mean, which version that you're going to call it.
And in the end, you don't care.
Right. As long as you get one or two, it's like, hey, you did something interesting.
God, man, this dude here.
So anyway, and I will say this too about this pairing. I don't know how it is with the bamboo, but
it's good.
The complexity of this, it reminds me of like a Habano almost with the plethora of flavors coming out of this.
Plethora.
That's my one go-to intelligent word. You know what I mean? Plethora. I had a plethora.
A plethora.
So, yeah.
Okay. I'm going to leave that one alone.
I would.
Oh, wow. Just say, let it go, Brian. Let it go.
Anyway. No, I'm digging it. And so, hats off. Thank you, Juan. We still have more cigars to review from Gurkha that he sent us. But this, and dude, I picked this one because, you know what? I was like, I thought this was like a high-end, expensive cigar when I opened the bag.
Yeah, and then we saw the price and we were like, wait a minute.
A 13-year-old age cigar.
Under $10.
And it looks, I mean, let's talk about that. The 2019 Fine and Rare from Alec Bradley, that's a $22
Yes,
stick.
it is.
This is competing with that.
Yes, it is. I have to be honest with it.
Right.
And I've been trying to find a reason to say no, anything. Truthfully, I've been looking at it, trying to find
and the
flaws.
more you look at it, you're like, damn, that looks good.
Yep. There's nothing I can find wrong, right? And the taste is great. It's still pinging me on this, trying to figure out what this note is that I'm picking up. And it's intriguing me. And I love it. That's the problem. I'm loving it. But I have to say, okay.
Hey, and I'm going to tell you right now, this cigar right here, and I hope yours is the same, but the draw is absolutely perfect. Wow. And I don't say that about many.
Yeah,
I don't. That's a tough one to like. And, like I said before, everybody has their own what they think is perfect. But for me, this is like what every draw on every cigar should be.
Too loose. I definitely don't like it tight. It's that in between, and I know what it is.
Right. Like when I take a draw on a cigar and it's so loose, and I'm like, yeah, that's going to burn too fast.
Yes, it is.
You know what I mean? But when you have one like this, it's like you feel just a little bit of resistance, which seems to make the flavor pop more because that airflow is like working its way through the tobacco.
It's pulling all of those flavors.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just my, theory, how it works. But
that picture I got.
See, that's why I always paint a picture.
Nah, bro.
Because also, you see like the air like making its way through crevices and
too far.
Right.
Too far.
My wife says that I always take it too far.
Too far. We were good. We were good. Larry was sitting over there like.
Let me tell you something. For my wife's birthday, we do a family get together meal once a month. Mm-hmm. Because my son's 22, my daughter's 20, my son's girlfriend is 22, and so they're busy. We're busy. It's hard to say we do family time. Mm-hmm. So once a month we pick a place and we all go, and I buy dinner for everyone. And so last time we went to a burger place, Mahu,
that new one,
Yamu, Well, I don't know what it is.
It starts with an M.
Mooyaw. That's what it is. All right, thanks for helping there. But I've been there once before, and I mean, it's like I'm not a big fan.
Okay,
it's good.
But you took your family there after you'd been there once before.
That's the way we do it. Is like it was for my wife's birthday, and my wife is whatever my kids want.
I got you. I know that. I understand that.
That's where my wife wanted to go.
I understand that.
And so while we were there, I saw someone. I didn't know him, but the way he was dressed reminded me of. Did you ever watch The Price is Right?
Yeah.
You remember the little mountain climber dude? And he stops. But if you go over on Price, he ends up going over the edge. Yeah. And I was like, y'all seen Price is Right? And they were like, yeah, once or twice. And I was like, did y'all ever see that? Because if so, look over there.
Anywhere, you're going to be you.
And my wife said, you know what my wife said?
What's that?
All right. You're not doing your show. You're with the family.
Cut the shenanigans right now.
Because as the dude was walking away, I was like,
You see this be like, yeah, stop now.
Yeah, her and my daughter both started, and my son and my son's girlfriend was just looking at me like.
Because Luke knows. He was in here. He was locked in with us for a long time. He understands.
Right.
He sees yeah, man, he can go there.
No, I'm pretty sure Luke was like, that's not even bad for him.
Because I've seen worse. Sitting over there, there were many times when we would first start.
Had a green plaid hat on with a feather.
Yeah.
If he would have had the German overalls,
the overall shorts,
and the shorts,
yeah,
whatever that outfit's called.
I don't know.
If you're German, leave that in the
notes. What is
notes.
it, Larry? You overseas? Lederhosen.
Lederhosen. Wow, that's weird.
It is. And he just threw it out there too. Lederhosen.
I think he's full of it because to me, that's like whoever's in the front. He's the leader,
and everybody else is hosing. We tried to stay 13, man.
They didn't see that. They didn't see that.
Oh, the camera was on me.
So anyway, let's get on with the show.
Hey, thank you.
That was a long explanation of what we were smoking, but there's a reason.
Truly. And people that know us, because when I put a picture of it on Instagram, it's like, and you didn't throw it away?
Right.
I'm like, no, I'm actually liking it. So
I haven't said that yet.
I did.
I'm not going to say, and I'm not going to answer any of the messages in the inbox. Mm-hmm. I'm on it. I put on there, Rob smoking a Gurkha, WTH, maybe. You got to watch the show. I'm not going to mention it to a soul before the show comes out. And this show is actually coming out tomorrow. I know we've got one in the bank, but this one is, because I don't know if you know this, but next week I'm interviewing Juan Lopez.
Oh.
So before we interview him, we're going to smoke these cigars.
Yeah, and they have a conversation for him.
Right.
Got you.
So anyway, I'm definitely looking forward to speaking with the VP of Gurkha, because he's impressed me in many ways with his conversation. In fact, I was supposed to interview him this last week, and Cigar Talk's email account went down.
Oh, yeah.
For 5 days. Yeah. No, the email.
Not the Instagram, the email?
I got that back.
Finally.
But the email, I didn't even know it was down.
Wow.
I was, when I checked my email, I was like, it's weird we're not getting any emails.
Folks don't like us.
Right. And for 4 or 5 days, and I'm doing a talk with a national sales rep or branding manager or somebody for Uncle Nearest.
Okay. Oh, good.
Right?
Good.
Right?
Yeah.
And so I'm super excited about that. And I was supposed to have a meeting with her. And she messaged me on Instagram and was like, hey, I've been trying to let you know we need to reschedule, but your emails are coming back undeliverable. And I was like,
that's the reason.
Weird.
Yeah.
So I went and checked it, and I have moved the Cigar Talk website from one host to another. I didn't realize I had to do some special stuff to get the email transfer.
So
I got that done, which that took me like 3 hours. But
hey, Larry, he was wrong.
No, I wasn't wrong. I didn't know.
In your actions, you were wrong.
No.
Yes. Own up to it. Just accept it.
I'm not.
Just accept it.
That was one show. I was wrong on one show.
That's the problem. You think it was just one show?
Nope.
He's just thinking it was one show.
I know.
I was wrong on one show.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay. We will think about letting that go, bruh. Come on, man. Just accept it. You're human.
Barely. I mean, I don't know what your definition of Neanderthal is.
Oh my God. I've never called anybody a Neanderthal.
I'm a Neanderthal.
How?
My genetics on me and 23 say I'm 87% more Neanderthal than 87% of people on 23andMe. I got it. I can print it off and show it to you. In fact, I'm going to put a fucking...
Oh, we lost it. We lost it.
I'm going to put a picture of a Neanderthal right here. Dang it. So everybody knows, I told Bryant before the show, I want to make this a PG-13 show for the first time in maybe ever.
And he said, and you can't say, I said, I don't say the word. Yes, you do. No, I don't. You, on the other hand, liberally, it just flows at times, as it did then.
It's one of my very favorite words because it has so many options, on how you can use it.
Connotation, it fits almost every scenario.
Activities. I mean,
mindsets.
Right.
No, we're not going.
How you're treated. You know what I mean?
I understand.
So anyway, I'm going to put a picture of a Neanderthal right here because I am. And you know what? I'm happy about that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I'm also 83% Irish.
I can see that.
I never know that growing up.
Why
I never
not?
knew what I was. You know, times 57.
You were Rob Jones. That's what you knew, and that's what you accepted.
And because you know what? I never found out because I really didn't give a shit.
Yeah, I understand. Me neither.
I was like, I'm a dude.
I just knew I was from East St. Louis. It's like that is nothing to be proud of in a certain way, but it is.
Yeah, but when you go back into some of the history
of that place,
no.
And
of your family.
And when I did
of
that. Of
your family.
Yeah, because I got a cousin that did that. She did that 23andMe and Ancestry.
Okay.
Ancestry.com. And she gave us some information. I was like, wow. I was like, oh, goodness. Whew, we've been through some stuff.
So let me tell you this. So, you know, I have a cousin named Mark.
Yeah.
And so me and Mark didn't talk. I mean, we grew up together young.
Yeah.
Like, I considered him a very close friend, not just a cousin.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, he came and lived with us while he was going to college. I went and stayed with his family when my dad was third-degree burns over, like, 80% of his body. I stayed with them while my mom and dad were in Galveston as, 4 and 5 years old.
Gotcha.
And so I consider that to be close.
Yeah, gotcha.
And then, like, in 2005, 2006, for some reason, he just quit answering any of my messages.
Okay.
We didn't talk for freaking 10 years.
Wow.
Maybe longer, maybe 12.
Wow.
Anyway, I sent him a message, and I was like, hey, man, I don't know what's going on.
That's a break.
But, you know, we're getting older.
Mm-hmm.
Time is not on our side. Dude, we had a good time together. We need to reconnect.
Yeah.
And so he reconnected. And then we enjoyed weekly chatting. We did herfs with me, him, and Tim. Because him and Tim know each other, you know, because me and Tim have been friends for 38 years.
Gotcha.
And so somehow me and Tim pissed the dude off. And now he quit talking to me again. And I was like, see, that tells you a lot. Because have you ever heard the term blood is thicker than water?
Mm-hmm.
And that's true. 100%. You know why? Because you don't know what the blood and you don't know what the water is.
Okay.
You think you know.
Yeah, that's true.
You don't. Water is your family. Because when your mother gave you birth, the water broke.
Yeah.
That's the water.
I got you on that. Okay.
In the biblical days, way back when, the blood was when me and you made a deal.
Yeah.
We had a covenant.
And they used to even...
And no. They would take their best animal and cut it right down the middle, and it would be in halves. And then they would both walk through it. And so what me and you have is the blood.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's, so what I'm saying is, for you guys, I appreciate the friendship because that's the blood.
Gotcha.
My own cousin isn't talking to me, and I'm like, hey, man, I can't make you want to hang out.
That's true.
But you are missing out. You know what I mean? Because we're living life over here.
True.
Every day.
Every day.
Because that's all we got.
It comes down to that,
Daily.
Like you said, family is the water. These bonds we build throughout our life become the blood.
Right.
And those are the things we look back on in the relationships.
And I look at that as they didn't have to have lawyers.
Oh, no.
No. Me and you, we don't have to have lawyers.
No.
We have a mutual respect for each other.
Mm-hmm.
And that also reflects on the kind of people that you hang out with in the cigar community. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you build those kind of relationships. Because let me tell you this. If it wasn't for the leaf, dude, I would not be in Abilene. Like, without the leaf, I didn't have friends in Abilene, period. None.
I can own up to it, too. I didn't.
I mean, even when I started smoking cigars at the first, I didn't hang out at the lounge. I didn't know anybody. I would go in, get cigars, and leave. I'd drive out to the lake, and I would have a camping chair, and I would sit next to the lake and smoke a cigar every day. That was my routine before I
started
took
hanging
time
down.
to hang out. And it's like, we all need friends.
Yeah.
We all need fellowship.
People think they can do it on their own, but you
Right.
can't.
No.
You can't. You have to you have to have fellowship with someone at some time, because
And I got to preface that even if you have a great close relationship with your wife, you still need fellowship with other men.
Yes, another relationship, you got to have it. And men, we can speak about things that I can't talk with my wife about. And I'm not talking about,
you're talking about that your wife,
she can't understand it.
Because we don't understand everything about women, and so they need their friends.
Yes.
Because they got things to talk about. And so it's not about like, I can't tell my wife this. It's like, it's not the same because she doesn't get it, or she doesn't understand, or because you're a man, you've experienced this. I want to know your thoughts on it. And so we get that perspective.
Because you see, we as men see things through different eyes than women. And we our perception of things are totally different from a woman. I can attest to this every day with my wife. We see the exact same thing, and she'll start talking about something. I'm like, where'd you get that from?
Right.
But it's this, and I'm like, man, I don't see what you're talking about. And then I try to tell her what I'm seeing in my perspective, and she's like, no, that's not right. It's not that she can't see no, it's not right. Okay, well, you saying it's not right doesn't mean it's not right. But that's the way it is. I can sit back.
Well, and I'll tell you this. I want to throw this in there. The other day, I brought up a subject that I knew was like borderline wife worthy or not. And what I mean by that is this the discussion I should have with another like man?
Uh-huh.
And I was like, let's go for it. Because, I do that. I threw it out there. It went south quick. And the end of that conversation was, hey, I'm sorry. I won't bring up that type of subject anymore because I know it's right. I see how it works, and I just don't want to do that. Well, then she's like, no, we can talk about anything. And I'm like,
no,
nope,
we can't.
Nope,
No, we can't. Just be honest. No,
Yeah,
we can't.
right,
no,
right.
we can't.
So I took a chance and I got my answer.
yeah, and now you
And
know
it's
which.
like,
I don't go this lane here with her because I know the outcome is of that, and it's not what I'm looking for.
and the thing is, it's not that they're wrong. It's a different perspective.
Yes.
And I'm not going to go down that road.
I have.
You guys didn't know you got marital advice for free on this show.
Man,
hey, you know what I say? You know what makes a great marriage is a lot of bourbon.
Oh my God!
Right, Larry?
Yes. Larry's not married.
He was.
He said, "Oh,
don't tell him." He doesn't know.
Larry lives that life,
Larry,
and he loves that life. Sometimes I sit back and I'm like, man,
dude,
I wish
when
I could do
Ike
some
was
of the
here,
things.
I called him a player, and he did not object.
He didn't.
He's over 60, and we called him a player.
And he was like, yeah, okay. I do identify with that sometimes.
Dude, I've seen
Not more
Larry
than
at the
sometimes.
lounge with like women that are 20 years younger than him.
No, as we were talking earlier, talking about conversations, what is it, 34 years younger?
Wow.
He said game is game. I hear you, bro.
Hey.
I hear you.
As he dribbles the ball between his
legs.
legs.
Game is game, baby.
He's like LeBron. But don't ask him if he played basketball.
Yeah, no.
That's offensive to him.
Yeah.
And that's why I ask him regularly. Hey, man, I forgot. Did you play ball?
He give you that look.
Yeah. So, anyway, we've had a lot of fun. Let's talk about our sponsors.
Most definitely.
And here's the thing I love about talking about our sponsors is we don't have a format. Whatever we say is what we say.
Yeah.
And
it's not scripted.
It's not scripted. And the thing about it is we might talk about the sponsor for a minute, but then we might go off on a long rabbit hole hunt and then work our way back. So don't skip. Don't skip.
Because you never know.
Right? I remember when I was editing last week's show, I was talking about McAuliffe. And then I was like, all right, hold on a minute. Let's talk about this. And we went off on a 5-minute tangent. And then I was like, hey, who were we talking about? McAuliffe. Oh, yeah. So that's why we went down that rabbit hole. So I do want to start with McAuliffe. Dude, they have got something special coming out March 8th. I can't tell you what it is, but I got a box. And I'm going to show you afterwards. I talked to who was the guy that filled in yesterday? Julio. Right. Short-term memory loss.
Yeah.
Let's hope that's the brunt of it right there, because I can already tell I'm. Woo. Anyway, yeah, dude, they're coming out with something special. You're going to want to be like all over it.
Gotcha.
Like, you know, when McAuliffe does something, it's always something big.
Mm-hmm.
For me, this is the biggest.
Wow.
This so far is the crown.
Wow.
Like,
wow.
Next week we'll talk about it. Well, actually, we got a show in the bank, so not next week. It'll be the first show of maybe April.
Okay.
That we'll circle back around why this to me was the crown jewel of things they've done.
Okay.
You know what I mean? They've done a lot of crazy stuff that
they have.
is not like the norm.
Mm-hmm.
McAuliffe is not in that box.
They refuse to be in that box.
They refuse to be in the box. They always play outside the lines.
Mm-hmm.
And this is like a perfect example
of who they are.
Oh,
okay.
I'm going to tell you what it is after the show.
Okay.
And I want to know if you feel the same way.
Gotcha.
That feels high. Should I lower that down? Is that better? Okay. I feel like that's better.
All right.
Anyway, I don't work at a glory hole. You know, if you're watching the video,
I'm like,
Bryant does. Anyway.
Not happening, Brett.
Yeah, check out McAuliffe Cigars. You know what was awesome?
What's that?
Julio came over and helped me out because I wanted to get a couple of Light 'em Up crew shows done.
Uh-huh.
And he had never had a medallion.
Wow.
So I gave him one.
What was his response?
Dude, the whole show
was about
he was going on and on about dude, this is really good. And I was like, I can't believe you've never had one. What that tells me is you don't listen to the show.
No. And he's one of those how we used to be. We go to our sections.
Right.
And that was it. Then you'd walk out the
here it is. Go ahead.
and you walk out the humidor and go pay and move on with life. When you go in there and like I loved how you said you went one day and you just closed your eyes and put your hand out and you just walked.
And I ended up getting a Christoph. What's that? Not a Christoph. It's the Parrot. Come on. San Cristobal Revelation.
Yeah.
Dude, stick was lights out good.
But that's the difference.
And it's like, how many cigars
are there?
Do you not
yes,
know?
yes, that are that good.
That we walk by every day. And that cigar, and now we're going to talk about the leaf. And so, I mean, dude, I was like, you know what? I smoke what I smoke on a regular repetition. I want to see what I can smoke that I might not smoke. I mean, maybe I'll land on something I smoke, but I intentionally went down a wall that I usually don't stop on.
Gotcha.
And so I just reached my arm out, touched the shelf, and then found my way into a box and touched the cigar. I opened my eyes. I look. It's a San Cristobal Revelation. And I'm like, all right, I'll give it a try.
Yeah.
Great freaking stick. Great freaking stick, which I probably would have never picked on my own.
Yeah. And see, that's what I don't do what you did. But what I do is sometimes I go in there and I'll tell Scott or Jay, pick me out 4 sticks.
Oh, that's always fun.
And they go in there and they never bring what is part of my, like you say, my regular rotation. They never bring any of those.
Well, they know what that is. Yeah.
And they bring something that I haven't had before and they tell me, you're going to like this. And so immediately I'm like, okay, if they pick this, it's got to be something about it. So I get into it. And just like with this Gurkha, I start smoking it, trying to find reasons not to like it. And I'm like, man, they did it again.
Yeah,
they did it again. They did it again.
The one thing that I hate is when I walk in and try a brand new cigar that I've never had before, and right out of the gate, it's plugged. Because now I tried a new cigar. My rotation is top tier. Yours is too.
Yeah.
I know my rotation is always going to hit it out of the park.
Yeah.
So when I give you a chance and you ruin it because I can't even smoke it, now I don't want to go back to that cigar maybe ever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because you look at it like, nah, that memory pops up in your head. It was plugged. Nah, next.
Right. And you know who did a lot of that to me?
Who?
Was the first time I smoked it, I loved it. Guardian of the Farm, not Guardian of the Farm. Who makes Guardian of the Farm?
Uh-oh. You didn't put me on point. Now my mind is thinking.
Okay, well, regardless, whoever makes it, they also make a cigar that comes in like the 6x46, and it's Herencia. Have you had it's like a turquoise, decorative, beautiful band with the shade of tobacco that makes up the wrapper.
No, I haven't.
Great freaking stick. I mean,
and you got it at the Leaf.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if we still have them right now, but I know we did just a couple of months ago.
Okay.
But it is a phenomenal cigar that would easily make it into my top 15 list this year.
Okay.
If the construction was consistent. It's a 50-50 shot on whether or not it's plugged or not.
Oh, yeah.
And so my grading scale is not on one stick. It's on me smoking that stick over and over and
mine
over.
Too, because even on those that the first time is a bad experience, I'll give you another chance.
Right.
I'll give you another chance.
But if I smoke 10 of them and it's 50-50,
yeah, I can't do that.
I'm not going to
throw my money.
I'm not going to recommend you smoke it because you go spend $10 and you can't even smoke it. That makes my reputation look like dude doesn't know shit.
What did he say? Nah.
Right.
Nah.
So when we do our annual top 25, we do our top Maduros, we do our top Sun-Growns, Connecticut's.
Yes.
We haven't done Connecticut's, but we're going to do it this year.
Okay.
So I can't tell you to go smoke something if I know the construction is not perfect.
Yeah, gotcha.
And I don't want to say perfect. If it's not smokable, you know what I mean? There's some cigars that I've had unravel on me that I really did enjoy. I'm not happy that it unraveled, but at the same time, as long as I was able to smoke it,
I was rolling with it.
right. Because I understand that one or two cigars out of a box.
Because it's man-made.
Right. So
man-made
I'm not
product.
giving them negative points on that.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's just how I do it.
And going to the Leaf, you can find a lot of those that are those hidden gems that you would miss because you're stuck in your rotation.
Right.
And I
I
love
love it when I can expand it.
Oh, yes.
When you expand your rotation, you're like, I've got more selection.
And the thing I love about the Leaf is they take the time to ensure that we can have those trips. You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, Jay hears about a stick. He does his research on the stick. He makes sure that it's sustainable so that he just doesn't bring it in and it sits in there and it's only me and you smoking it.
Right.
You know, so he does that and then he gives to us these gems and we're stuck in our rotation that we pass them up. So that's why I go to him a lot and I'm like, man, just pick me out 5 sticks, pick me out 4 sticks.
Are you done smoking that cigar?
Yes,
Here.
I'm so thankful.
I just gave Bryant a Southern Draw quick draw.
Yeah,
And I've smoked a few of those. I really do like them.
we'll get to that.
Do you remember last week's show?
Yeah, I do.
You said, I do too. And you said on that show that Larry is the only one that benefits from cigars.
I honestly did. Yes, I did. And then you corrected me.
I think that you're wrong.
You corrected me then.
But I wanted to do it again.
Just like I want to say you're wrong.
You want to, but you can't.
I can't right now. But because in the end, you go to the Leaf and you find things, and if you think they're very good, you will give me one. And I have to be honest about that.
I can't.
My
give
issue
you
is
one.
my issue is
Your issue is that you don't like me giving Larry cigars.
no. People give us cigars.
No.
And they come to your residence.
Right.
And I don't get them.
And
like the black, I will never let you forget about the Black Irish.
let me tell you something.
I don't want to hear it.
You know what Julio smoked last night?
If you say a Black Irish, I'm pouring XO on you.
All right. Well, then let's not talk about Julio.
Because if you said a black, dude,
I didn't say it. I did not say it. Now you're wondering, though. Oh, whoa. If I don't say it, you can't pour that on my head. Come on. Let's be fair. Dude, you ever, been on that bamboo for, 3 weeks?
Yes.
Well, I'm not. I'm going to have another pour of this whole forest.
Every time I come here, the bottle is sitting right here on my side, like, okay, it's there for you.
It is because, our booze shelf has,
It's
lost.
got the wheel up there.
Yeah. Now it's got the Wheel of Fortune that we do for the Patreon. So, anyway, that's a lot of information about the Leaf, actually.
it's a
So
lot.
that's your promotion, Jay. Because, and also,
1166
North Second. But if you want to order the McAuliffe brand,
Yes.
you can call Jay or Scott or anyone else that's going to answer the phone there, and you're going to get the entire McAuliffe line.
Yes, you are.
And let me tell you, if you have not smoked the new Vitola of the Riata 6x46,
Let me tell you.
that is lights out. It's made it into my regular rotation. And that is an accomplishment for a cigar manufacturer. To make it into my rotation says a lot about you.
Says a lot about you. Says a lot about that stick, too.
Well, before the show, we were talking about subpar cigars.
Oh, yes.
And,
I should have made it to the show.
I'm not making any negative connotation. If you smoke bundle cigars, and, I hear all the time, Matthew at the Leaf gave me a factory smoke.
Yeah.
And I knew I was not going to like it, so I gave it to someone else. I was like,
how did you know you weren't going to like
because it's only like $2. I know, and I do, and you know what? I hear people say it's a good budget stick. I'm not smoking bad cigars. Yeah. Even if it's within my budget,
Got you.
I'm not. I will go without a cigar before I smoke something that I don't enjoy.
I take that ride too. I'm like, forget it, man.
I mean, when you smoke quality tobacco, you just can't smoke run-of-the-mill, maybe okay, maybe bad. Yeah. You know what I mean? If it's maybe okay, I don't want to smoke it.
That's why we fell in love with Tabanero.
Oh, yes, dude. And that's another sponsor.
Yep.
But Tabanero makes cigars that I think are as close to perfection. Now, I have not smoked the entire line.
Nope.
But what I have smoked.
Well, we've traveled on.
The Sun-Growns to me is like if I was the head of the mafia back in 1965.
Oh, my goodness.
And I was like one of those dudes that had always a box of cigars on my desk. When people come in,
that would be the box.
I would have to have 2 boxes because I would have the Tabanero Sun-Grown on this side of the desk, and I would have the Medallia on this side of the desk. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And because I want you to experience that complexity that a lot of cigars miss out on.
Yeah, got you.
I mean, I've smoked a lot of cigars, and I even liked them that were 1 or 2 note wonders.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like all the way through,
you got those 1 or 2 notes, yeah.
Or I'm going to get this note predominantly, and then I'm going to get this note predominantly. Okay, some of those are good cigars. But when you want to go to the upper echelon of cigars, I am now at that point of my journey that I want the complexity.
Yeah.
And that's not just with my cigars. It's also with my bourbon.
Yeah.
I want, like, the only bourbon right now that I'm enjoying that I don't consider complex is the Old Tub.
Oh, yeah.
It's bottle and bond, 100 proof, aged a minimum at 4 years, and at the regular shop, it's $24. It's a great bottle. He has somehow come up with a way of getting it for $18. So, I mean, at $18, it's phenomenal.
Yeah, you can't beat it.
Like, Evan Williams Ball and Bond, Old Tub has replaced it for me.
Wow.
It's like I used to enjoy the Ball and Bond Evan Williams, and it's good for the price.
Yeah.
But when you kick it up to what Old Tub has made for $18, I'm going to take that every time.
Every day.
Right. I mean, it's like, you know what? Today, I'm going to smoke a Padron 1926 because I can. Yeah. I want to. It's been a while. You know what I mean? So you're not, I mean, even though you love the Perdomo Sun-Grown or the Maduro, if you can have the 1926, you're going to take it.
You're going to run with it.
Right.
Yeah, you're going to run with it.
So that's kind of like how I explained that visually.
And then that's where Tabanero takes you. The ability to have that ride, that complexity, all those notes, and the Sun-Growns, and
the consistency.
That's where I was going. And it's consistent. Every time you know.
Can you imagine what it takes to make a consistent blend year over year with different crops? That's impressive.
Yeah, it is. Because that's paying attention to your product.
Right. And when you have a complex profile, in order to match that, that's impressive.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're only doing a 1 note, a 2 note,
it's easy.
It's not that hard.
It's easy.
But when you add in the complexity and year over year crops and keep it the same,
and you go through the droughts, you go through the seas, the floods, and you still are able to produce a product that gives that complexity, all those notes, the flavor, the construction, with all these things that are happening around it. That's the beauty of it. And Tabanero has provided that for us.
And I call Tabanero the boutiques of the boutiques.
Mm-hmm.
And so far, I haven't found another cigar maker that I consider to be the boutique of the boutique.
Gotcha.
That I love.
Gotcha.
Like I found some other ones, and they've sent me cigars, and I was just like, dude, I had such high hopes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you
that
find,
bar is set.
when you find that like possible gem that no one knows about, and they send you the cigars, and you smoke them, and you're like, man, I'm not going to talk bad about them.
Yeah, but it's just
because somebody might like them.
Yeah, but it's just man.
But Tabanero has set the bar high.
Got you. And you know who else has set that bar high?
Who?
Case Elegance.
Oh, dude. Let me tell you this. You know,
that's the fourth one.
Yeah.
That's the fourth one. We got him.
So if you are looking for accessories that set the bar,
come on,
or personal items that set the bar, I went in the house and I was grabbing my shirt to wear for the show.
Okay.
And my leather bag is
Hold
on
up,
the
wait
shelf.
a minute. So, did you go in the house with a shirt on, and then found the shirt that you were going to wear, or did you brighten up the neighborhood? And
I got out of the shower and went into the closet.
Oh, so you were already in the house,
right? You
said you went to the house. He's like, okay, what were you wearing out here?
Well, it depends on which day, but I have, as of yesterday, came out here in my underwear because I was late. Anyway, I know you don't want to know what that looks like.
The world doesn't.
In fact, I was in my underwear the entire day until Larry came over, and I was like, "Oh, Larry's coming! I got to go get clothes on." So,
oh my God, that would have messed you up, wouldn't it? Yeah, but we were talking about Case Elegance, and you went down that rabbit hole.
Anyway, no, what I love about Case Elegance is they are like setting the bar that we expect the same level of satisfaction from our cigar makers.
Got you.
You know what I mean?
I got you on that.
And they do it.
Yeah.
They set the bar very high.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I have ordered other humidors, and you get it. It looks fine.
Mm-hmm.
It holds cigars, but until you buy a Case Elegance humidor, you don't know what an online order experience can be. You know what I mean? I don't think I've
experienced that.
I don't ever think I've had the online service experience like I've had with Case Elegance.
Oh, okay.
The product shows up perfectly packed.
Yeah.
And, like, packaging is not like something that I have to go, oh, that's perfect, or no, that's not. But it does have an effect on what you think as far as when it's packed nicely and the presentation when you open the box.
Gotcha.
And when I got my Octador, I was like, holy shit, these dudes like go all out, even on the packaging of their product.
Yeah.
So if a company takes the time to make sure the packaging is perfect, that tells you a lot about the whole company's mindset. Yeah. And so
you know what the product is going to be.
And I don't look at companies the way most people probably do, because I like to analyze those type of things.
Okay.
It's like, okay, the shipping packaging is like exactly what it should be. Then you take it out, and then they have it laid out with like, before you even start, read this.
Yeah.
Okay. Normally, I wouldn't even read that, but I do because it's something that I am excited to get.
Mm-hmm.
And you read through it, and it's like step by step how to take care of this piece of art.
Yeah. And that's what they do. And then they give you the products to ensure that you can take care of that piece of art. Because the Green Army came with the humidification kit.
All of their humidors come with the humidification kit. So not only are you getting your humidor, you are getting the humidification system for free.
For free.
And most humidors don't do that.
No.
And what sucks about that is when you buy a humidor, now all of a sudden I'm hit with the responsibility of figuring out what else I need to order.
Oh, yeah. To make sure that it does
I
what
don't
it's
have to
supposed
do that with Case Elegance.
Nope. And even till today, it's still running perfect. Still running perfect. I was out of town for 2 days. I grabbed 5 sticks before I left. I get back. It was at 69 when I left. When I got back home, it was still at 69. And
the quality, and when I say quality, I mean just the craftsmanship of how beautiful the product is.
Oh, yes.
You know what I mean? You're not getting, and I'm not knocking anybody that lives in China, but you guys make shit that looks like shit, all right? It is what it is. It's cheap. I get it, but
it's mass produced. This is a quality piece. This is something that they took care of. They took care in making.
Craftsmanship.
Yeah.
And so if you haven't bought anything from them, dude, the leather bag. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
When I was in the closet, my leather bag was on the shelf. I almost brought it out here to be like, hey,
see,
look what I got.
My man bag.
My man bag, yeah. Because it's when I go in the closet, I'm like, I need to use that. I need to go out of town. You know what I mean?
Just to use that.
Right. And I'm going out of town at the end of the week.
Yeah, I'm going at the end of the month.
Okay. So, Friday is my birthday.
Yes, sir.
And I'm leaving town to go to Lubbock.
Okay.
And so, hopefully, the plan is right now, me and Tim are going to go smoke a couple of cigars, have a bourbon together, and, it's our birthday.
Enjoy your birthday.
And like I was saying, I don't know how it always works out that way. Because, I haven't been to Lubbock in months, but it just happens. I'm going on my birthday work.
Got you.
So,
get to enjoy it.
Yeah, it's like me and Tim.
A twofer.
That's where I started smoking cigars, was with Tim.
Got you. I remember who I started. Yeah. Sergeant Pearson, Sergeant Vaughn, and Singletary. Yep, in the Army. After a football game. They said, here, smoke one of these. I was like, man, I don't smoke no cigars.
How was it?
Oh, dude. At first, I was a cigarette smoker at that time.
Oh, okay.
So the first time I made a mistake and inhaled, it's after a football game, so I'm already tired and low on breath. I inhaled and it felt like I died out there, and they just all laughed at me and said, you don't do that. You don't do that. But that's the learning. They took time to teach me how to smoke a cigar the correct way.
There's 3 cigars I've never smoked, and I've always wondered if they were good.
What's that?
The Ditka.
Okay.
Coach Ditka.
Uh-huh.
Who'd you just say?
Singletary.
Singletary.
Mm-hmm.
And the number 48. 52. 52. Baltimore 52.
Oh, Ray Lewis.
Yeah.
Okay.
He has his own cigar.
Yeah.
I've never smoked any of those.
Me neither.
Because I'm so skeptical when we have celebrities' names put on cigars. But I have reevaluated, and some of those, you realize that the celebrity must have a standard what he will put his name on.
Because it's their brand.
Right.
It's their brand.
Right.
And they're not in football anymore. They want to make money. So you can't put just junk out there because folks are not going to smoke it.
Right. And that leads me back to, like, yesterday we finished off that Heaven's Door bourbon.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know the backstory, but she worked for Angel's Envy, and she set out on her own, and she called it Heaven's Door. Well, she partnered up with
Dylan.
Mm-hmm. And I was like, see, first of all, I'm not a big Dylan fan. There's like maybe 1 or 2 songs I like, and then after that, I don't. I think he sucks, and... So,
that was Larry, big.
That was Larry
walking across.
If you're watching the YouTube channel, hit that like button, subscribe, and give us the bell.
Yes, sir.
But no, that was Larry that just walked by, and so he's a mammoth of a man.
But hey, man, it's just when you expect a certain thing, anything less than that is a disappointment.
It is, and the better that you experience, you're raising your own bar.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And that's why I can't smoke the factory smokes.
Yeah, okay. I believe I accept it because I tried the new Cubas.
I did too. I smoked one,
and I was like,
and after I smoked that one, I was like, yeah, I'm not smoking the factory smoke either.
So I ain't even going to factory smoke because they talked about the new Cubas, and if it's anything like this, nah, bro. So it's to each his own, and
Oh yeah, absolutely, because we all have our own bar.
Yeah,
We've all raised our bar,
yeah.
and whatever your bar is, that's you.
Whatever your taste is, roll with it. I'm not going to say it's wrong because you say some of the things that people say some of the things I smoke. Man, I can't see you smoking it. Well, it's you.
Yeah, they're going to say that about that Gurkha.
But I actually have to be honest.
Dude.
I took it down to this.
Dude, look at mine.
I took it down to this.
I'm still going.
Yep,
I'm still going.
And I don't smoke. The only cigar I smoke that small or even smaller is the Wanderlust.
Which I gave him last week, folks.
He did. And because I love the Wanderlust. That's if you would ask what my number one stick is,
that would be it.
It would be it.
I know. That's why I gave it to you.
And the thing about it, with Roma Craft, they have 2 in my top 5. That and the Baca.
I might have misled you last week when I gave you that Wanderlust.
What did you mislead me about?
So, Big Boy over at the Castillo Lounge, the mobile lounge,
yeah.
I told you he sent us a Wanderlust each.
Yeah.
And I smoked them. I didn't. I saved it for you.
See, that's being a butthole. Because you,
I still made it an asshole move.
Yes,
because I led you to believe that I got
that you had already smoked it,
and that I had already smoked
yeah.
it. So then that gave me the opportunity to like come in as a shining armor.
Now
you know the truth.
Now it's like Miss B said, it's doo doo all over the place.
You always take it too far. Hey, guys, we're going to take a short break, and then we're going to come back, and we are going to talk about jet lighters. We're going to talk about matches.
We're going to talk about ignition.
Okay, yes. I'm down. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after a quick break. Hey, thanks for hanging through the break. Sorry, I wanted to make sure we're recording.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was a good first half.
Yeah.
We covered a lot of material, a lot of information, and it's like, you know what? That's where we want to be.
Yeah.
Is where we're talking about cigars. We're talking about bourbon. We're talking about the community.
Yes.
And I mean, because that's the 3 parts that make it for me.
Almost definitely.
You know what I mean?
I'm right there with you.
It was like mainly the cigars and a little bit of the community.
Mm-hmm.
Then it became 50-50, and then I started drinking bourbon, and now that's like 92%. You know what I mean?
And the other 2
you
get
4% of the cigar. No, I'm just messing with you. I really have gotten to the where I enjoy fantastic pairings.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
And I'm with you on that because matching or pairing a great stick with a beverage, sometimes an adult beverage, that brings out that stick or the stick brings out that bourbon, it's just like, man.
Even though I really love bourbon, I really love coffee.
Yeah, because that's what I'm saying. Sometimes an adult, because certain Connecticut's with coffee, oh, man. It's just like, it's a marriage made in heaven, bro.
Absolutely. And there's some weird ones out there that I normally don't ever think of. But, Dave Lampert, from the cigar shop guy over in Weatherford. No, not Weatherford. Not Gainesville. Granbury. Or no, Lake Granbury. One of those. But anyway, he was like, dude, you should try root beer. And
I heard you saying about that.
In a million years, I would never think. Because one, I'm not a soda guy. I rarely drink sodas.
Gotcha.
There's certain foods that just like a good pairing. Like if I'm going to go over to the brick oven and eat pizza.
Yeah, pizza and a soda is perfect.
Dude, that cleanses your palate because that oily pepperoni really taints
your taste buds.
Right.
Yeah, so you got to cleanse them.
And did you see how I used the word taint?
I didn't want to go there. I didn't want to go there.
I wanted to point that out.
That's why I heard him and started speaking.
I got you. Yep, fair enough.
Certain words.
I was like,
keywords.
I got to say taint, and it was appropriate.
What's your pick 6 this week, bro?
We're not doing a pick 6 this week because we are going to focus on the ignition of cigars, and the different possibilities that you have. So. Okay, that's fine. We'll finish out just one-on-one. Anyway, a little technical difficulty with one of the cameras, so you YouTube guys it's just going to be back and forth.
Gotcha.
Anyway, we're smoking something different.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think I've smoked one before, like way back in the day.
I smoked one 2020, and the reason I remember it was because when I had the knee surgery and I was at home and I couldn't go anywhere, and I had one that was at Italia. It was
yeah. You had the little Italian flag colors as the band.
Yes,
like midway.
Yes, mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think that's one of the ones that I smoked.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it was that one, but it was one from that case.
Yeah, because that's what I got for it was the case.
And you know what? That was like pretty early on in my cigar endeavors. And so I didn't give it a fair shot. You know what I mean? I was like, this ain't what I'm smoking.
Gotcha.
You know? But now that I've lit this up, this was a gift from Presley down at the Leaf. And he smokes these all the time. He loves these. Yeah. This is his go-to. And so being a cigar smoker that I love a lot of different cigars now, I wanted to try it again. And you know how long I've had this in my humidor?
No.
Probably 6 months.
Wow.
Because I am a smoker of like what I'm in the mood for.
Yeah.
And when I see this in there, I'm
it's
like,
not the mood.
No, I'm not in the mood to smoke that because it doesn't look like a regular cigar.
Gotcha.
It looks like a weed.
Yeah, it looks like I said earlier, that those things that Eastwood used to pop out every once in a while.
Cheroot.
Yeah, cheroot.
But, and I think this is probably what he was smoking. Yeah. You know what I mean? I always thought it was
because you never saw him with a humidor,
right? So
he had to be dry cured. It had to be something he could just pull out whenever he felt like.
And back in that day and age, they didn't have humidors, so you were either smoking them fresh, or if you were saving it, it had to be one of these dry cured. Or fire cured.
Fire cured,
not dry. Well, there is dry curing, but these are fire cured.
Yes, sir.
And so it's an interesting experience.
It's different. It has a very pleasant aroma, though. I have to give it that. Like I said, when I lit mine up, it reminded me of a barbecue. It was like, man, this is like a barbecue. But the flavor, it's some like pipe.
You know what I would like to see? Because of I agree 100% of what you just said, which is very rare.
He's trying to paint a picture, folks.
Very rare. No, I would love to smoke a cigar like this that has been fire cured with mesquite wood.
Ooh.
Nobody's ever done that.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? And it's not something that I would want to smoke every day, but you know how I am with the Flying Pig, Kentucky fire cured. That like has the essence of a barbecue to me. And I really only smoke those when I need a big time palate changer. Like when my palate's getting dull because of how many cigars I've smoked, I'd like to smoke a Kentucky Fire Cure because it's one of those that's like, boom, you're not going to miss this no matter what. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
So I would love to try that with a mesquite wood fire cured cigar. I think that would be something that Texans would be all over.
Run with it.
You know what I mean? Because like you're from St. Louis, the barbecue there is not mesquite.
And when we do get mesquite, we jump on it because it's so rare.
But I mean, you're only like hickory or pecan.
Pecan, yep.
And like when I moved down to Houston and guys were talking about doing barbecue with pecan and oak, I was like,
shook your head. Like, what?
What about the mesquite?
Yeah.
And they were like, there ain't no mesquite down here. Yeah. And I was...
That's the thing that got me, because when I got here to Texas, Abilene, Texas, mesquite grows like a weed here. It's everywhere.
It is. I mean,
everywhere.
You can't... It's very difficult to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Like, I used to spend 12 hours a day, 6 days a week on a dozer, like, and it had a tool on the blade that would go under, scoot under, and then back up. And I was basically taking out all the roots, the whole tree.
Yeah.
And I mean, some of them were 4 feet tall, and some of them would be like 20 feet tall with like, huge branches. But then there was like, it seemed like hundreds of the small ones just growing up, taking their place,
kill one, two comes back.
Yeah. So I mean, when you buy land in this part of Texas, if that hasn't been done, it's full of mesquite. It's just because it grows rampant
everywhere.
It's not like an oak that someone planted.
No.
It's just wherever there's mesquites, there's more coming.
It's true, because you go past patches of land and that's all you see is mesquite. And I'm like, man, if I could go out to just cut that and bundle it and take it back up north, I'd be a millionaire, man.
You know, dude, where I used to live in Woodson, the guy across the street from me, we called him Woodchuck. I don't even know what his real name is.
You just know him as Woodchuck.
And he had like 8 guys that every day they were out in pastures cutting down mesquite trees. And then they would put it through this machine that would make it into like chunks, just randomized chunks. And he was bagging them up, 50 pounds, and selling them to restaurants all over the United States.
That's smart, man. That is smart, man. Because up north, it's rare up north.
Right.
But I got it in Abilene. It's a weed.
And
it's everywhere.
If you haven't ever tried a meat that was smoked with mesquite, it's like it has this natural sweet spicy.
Yes.
Like hickory has a certain sweetness, but it doesn't have any spice.
Yeah.
No spice whatsoever. And then there's some people that really don't like mesquite because it is so strong.
Yeah.
Like it permeates the meat like more than anything else.
Yeah. It soaks through every fiber.
So, I mean, some people don't like that.
I love it.
But if you like that flavor, it's like, man, give me
and you know that flavor
tender
too. Yeah.
meat and that flavor. You're like, wow.
Thank you. Thank you.
And for me personally, like if you have a good mesquite smoked meat, you don't even need any barbecue sauce. You know what I mean?
And see, that's a difference too, because I notice here it's more about the dry rub and it's more about the meat. But up north, it's about the sauce. You have to have a great sauce with your meat.
And there's some places in Texas that are like that, but you find that more on the east because they are not using mesquite.
Yeah. Because up north, if you don't have a great sauce, I don't care how good that meat is. Folks will look at you like, man, where's the sauce? What does it taste like? And then you got to have a good piece of white bread to stick in that and just soak it all. Oh, my God. It's a different experience. It's the experience.
Right.
Up there, it's the experience is different from down here. So,
like, I was in, where's Beale Street?
In New Orleans.
No,
that's in Memphis.
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 I was in Memphis, and all my life you hear about Memphis barbecue.
Yeah, it's great.
I didn't really care for
because it's different.
It was okay,
but it's different.
But it was like you didn't get any smoky flavor
because it's all about the sauce and the spice with Memphis.
And the sauce is nothing like Texas sauce because I don't know if you know, but most Texas barbecue is like 50% barbecue, 50% ketchup, and then some mustard and some onions.
And see, with us up north is vinegar.
Yeah.
Vinegar.
Well, that's how it was even in Memphis.
Yeah,
it was more vinegary, and I was just like,
that's our taste. That's our sauce up north. It has to have that vinegar taste to it because we want that twang, that twang, and it's just different. It's the experience. You come down here, you have to have it's about smoking. It's about that meat, like with brisket. It has to be 8 to 12 hours.
Right.
Up north, we rib people.
You what?
Rib people. Oh. We're rib people.
Now, let me ask you this, because I know you're from the St. Louis area. So, like on ribs, did y'all boil them and then grill them? Because that's like how they did it down in the South.
No.
Was they would boil them first.
They talk about you if you boil your grill.
Okay.
But the thing is, boiled ribs are good, too. They're very good.
They're very good. Because they're not just boiled. They also then put them on the smoker. Mm-hmm. They cook them.
And see, that's my wife changed because she's from St. Louis. So I grilled and she was taught to grill a different way. We grilled them and it wasn't about boiling. You didn't put it in the water first and boil it. You put it on the grill.
Right.
And you let it grill. But then we got down here. Well, she got down here and she changed. She started boiling first and then putting it in there to get it grilled. And when I got down here and I started, I was like, man, what'd you do with these first? She said, well, I boiled them. I was like, but it's fall off the bone still. And I'm like,
and basically
I can't
what it
get
does,
mad about it.
It cooks the meat.
Mm-hmm.
thoroughly but it doesn't like make it tough. But what it does do is it minimizes the amount of smoke flavor throughout the meat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not as strong. It like dampens down the flavor of that mesquite. And that's perfect for some people.
Yes. I love barbecue. So I could barbecue every day.
I could
live without a stove.
I never barbecue. I don't like to barbecue.
Dude, I do.
I wish I did.
I do.
And as a Texan, it's like if you are if you got a star hanging on the front of your house, you would be like, that dude's not a Texan. Because I don't buy into the whole, we're the best state in the union, all that bullshit. But if that's how you are, I don't have a problem with it. Knock yourself out. I'm more of the essence of, I don't want to spend 8 hours cooking.
Outside cooking.
And I don't want to try to cook meats the way someone else wants them.
And see,
I always cook it the way I want it.
We cooked one way, and you had to accept it that one way. And see, with my parents in the summer, we didn't cook in the house. It was barbecue every day.
Wow.
Every day. Because my mom was like, it's hot enough. You ain't gonna run up my electric bill because she ain't never with that
when the
stove.
Oven's on 450,
it heats that house up a lot more.
You walk into the kitchen and you're like, did I end up in Arizona?
Yeah, for real. But so we barbecued every day, so you get used to that all. And then when the fall hits and they start cooking back in the house, you're like, wait a minute, where we ain't gonna be out there starting to get cold.
See, for my household. Like when I was at my dad's in Woodson for the summer, you're not going to heat up the kitchen.
No, you're not.
But that doesn't mean that we're not cooking in the kitchen. We would cook a pot of beans. That's not going to heat up the kitchen. But you're going to eat on that all week.
Yeah.
One day you're going to have cornbread with it. One day you're going to have tortillas with it. And one day you're going to have white bread with it.
You're going to eat beans.
You're going to eat beans. And I love beans.
Yeah, I do too.
Like, man, you make some good beans.
Lima beans, pinto beans,
when I
red beans and rice. Oh, Lord.
When I moved to New Waverly in 2005, one of my coworkers, and he was like a 55-year-old black man from New Orleans, not New Orleans, from Louisiana. Dude would like make food dishes and bring them in, and his beans were the best you've ever freaking had. And I grew up on beans, and I loved beans, but he kicked it up to a notch that I was like, West Texas people don't know how to make beans. I thought we did.
Until I tasted these, man.
Right. Took it to a whole new level, and the dude gave me the recipe, which is rare.
That's good, yeah.
Like, he was like, don't share this.
You can't.
But the way you light up when I bring these beans in, I'm going to let you have it.
Because you love them.
And I gave my wife my recipe that I'd gotten, and now
that's the way she prepares them
every time.
Yeah,
cool. And when you have a precise boom, 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 dude, you mean tell you what the secret is?
What?
For a 1 pound bag of red beans or pinto beans, a stick of butter, a whole stick of butter goes in that bad bitch, dude. You know, like how the first day of beans are good, but each day after that they thicken up.
Red beans, oh goodness, you got me hungry for some beans,
dude.
Man.
And then one red bell pepper. I was told not to give out the recipe.
You're giving it out on the radio, on the podcast.
All right, I'm not going to tell you what else is in it. I'll tell you after, because I can tell you.
Hey, let's get to the ignition thing.
Okay, cool. So, when it comes to the cigar world, it's like there's always options.
Yeah.
I mean, it starts with the cigar. I mean, there's thousands and thousands of selections of cigars. I mean, you have options.
Yes, you do.
And then there's options on cutting the cigar.
Yes, it is.
We've covered that. And then there's options on ashtrays. There's options on where you want to smoke.
Tell the truth.
But one of the biggest options is, how do you ignite the cigar to smoke?
Yeah.
what is the best practice, what is the easiest. I mean, there's times where I'm just like, you know what, I need to light this up and get to smoking. I'm on time, so maybe I don't take the steps that I know I should. You know what I mean? Sometimes I just say, screw it, I'm going to do what I'm going to do. Okay. You like the way I substituted that?
Yes, I truly do. The sensors do also.
So, but anyway, like, what is your preferred method of ignition for your cigar? The preferred, not what you do all the time, but because I want to know what your go-to is also. Like, so if you do your most preferred method, what is it? Preferred
method is to toast. I have 3 different types. I have matches. I also have a single flame torch, and I have a quad. And depending upon what is available readily and the cigar, that defines which one I use. 9 times out of 10.
What is your preferred method?
The quad.
Okay. And why is that?
Because it's easier and quicker.
True.
I know that quad is going to get the entire foot of my stick. I also know that it's going to give enough heat to ignite it to the point where I don't have to continue. Like with a match, you got to keep looking at it.
And also, I'll say this, with a quad flame, the heat disperses over the whole foot. Mm-hmm. Which, if you're using a single flame,
you don't get that.
Well, not always.
No.
Because sometimes you can have a single flame that's freaking huge.
Or like that torch we used to have.
Well, like my lightsaber.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
That welding torch that Zeka sent us is like, that is almost like a triple flame with a single flame.
Yeah.
But then like Julio last night was here, and he's got like a Cigar bright yellow lighter that you push on the side, and it's a single little flame.
Uh-huh.
I hate using those to light a cigar.
Because it takes time. And it's like, well, you
not
said,
even that. It's
me
like,
it well, it takes too much time.
I'm with you on that. But it's like, with a wider heat element, I can toast almost all of the foot evenly at the same time.
Yeah.
When I have a tiny
single
jet flame, I feel like that should only be used to touch up a bad burn.
I got you.
You know what I mean? And I rarely ever touch up a bad burn.
Me and Larry was talking about it earlier, and he says that he has a single flame, and it's a certain stick that he loved. He couldn't remember which it was, and I was like, more likely a Lancero.
That's what I was going to say.
Something small, or one of these Toscanas. Because it's a smaller stick, and that single flame can hit the entire foot of it.
And if you're looking at a 38 ring gauge or smaller, I can understand that. But on anything like a 46 and up, that small single flame, the single flames, what I love about their touch-up ability is that heat dispensary system,
exactly,
heat dispensary system. It's very precise on where the heat's going to go.
Gotcha.
And if you're going to touch up a cigar, you got to have that, because if you try to touch up a cigar with a quad flame, you're just burning the side of the cigar. You know what I mean? And that's like, well, that sucks.
Yeah, I didn't get that correct.
Right. I mean, when you look at your cigar and it looks burned off like an inch up, you're like, that's not what I was looking for. But the single flame has its purpose. So I'm not going to say that it's wrong to use, because I don't smoke Lanceros very often.
Yeah.
I mean, it's rare, but I can see using a single flame, even if it's a smaller single flame, on a Lancero.
Gotcha.
Or touch it up. So it has its place. Now, let's say that I was going to light up a 6x60, which would be rare because I don't really care for that ring gauge. But let's say I'm going to smoke a 660 flathead, which I'm a fan of. That little single flame
not going to do it.
Is just not going to work. You're going to be toasting the foot for a half hour.
Yeah, you're going to cause more issue than you are, because it's not going to be consistent around the entire foot.
Right.
And that's where I have an issue with it, because I want to be able to get an even toasting, and then when I light my ignition on it, I want it to be even also, even with the spinning. Because with a single flame, you find yourself spinning a lot more, because especially with a 6x60, because it's so large, you got to get it around the entire foot. So you're taking more time, and it's like taking away from the experience to me.
I agree.
Now,
if I've got to work to ignite my cigar,
it's going to be an issue.
You know what I mean? And there's tools available to where you don't have to work. Now, I will say this, though. I haven't done it in a long time, but one of my very favorite ways to light a cigar is to burn a cedar
That's
stick.
where I was getting ready to go. That is perfect, because that soft flame is a larger soft flame. And
it's however the size you want it to be. If you want a large flame or a smaller flame, you can light it on fire on the percentage of how big I want that flame to be. And the thing about it is, I read this, and I didn't know this particularly before, but I can appreciate the effect, is that when you use a cedar stick, that flame is not as hot as a jet flame.
A soft flame. Yeah.
It's a soft flame, but it's not as hot. And when you light a cigar with that much heat, and first of all, if you're using a torch, never, ever, 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 ever touch the torch to the cigar.
No.
You want to hold it about what I say about the size of a nickel. You don't want the flame to be closer to the tip of the cigar than what a nickel is. And maybe a little further, but that's the minimum. And when you toast it, that flame is creating so much heat that it's going to toast your cigar without touching the flame. Because when you touch the flame, you've burnt the tobacco. You've burnt it.
Yeah.
And when you burn the tobacco, it changes the flavor of what it should be to something different. Yeah. And a lot of times, that's not going to be a good experience.
No, it isn't.
So never, ever, ever touch the flame to the cigar tip. And then what I love about the cedar stick, though, is that it's such a reduced temperature fire that it's not going to burn the tobacco. It's going to allow you to ignite the cigar, to me, the way it's supposed to be.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? Because when you have that larger flame, but it's a soft flame, it's not as hot, you just take your time. And when I say roll the cigar, what I mean by that, because I think maybe some newer cigar smokers don't get the whole rotation. Because I've seen guys holding a torch to the tip of their cigar, and they're like rolling it like, how fast can I roll this cigar?
No, you take your time.
What I do is when I light a cigar and I have that flame there, I like take one slow puff and then I turn it a quarter turn. And then I take one slow puff and then I take a quarter turn. And I do that until the entire foot has been through that rotation.
Got you.
Because that is when I know it's like that is evenly lit. That's how I do it. Whenever I take the time to use a cedar, I don't use a cedar very often. I've got a quad torch right here, and I use this because I do really love the quad.
Yeah, me too.
And because when you have a wide source of heat, it allows you to ignite the cigar evenly, and that's, I think, when you get it lit evenly, you're setting yourself up for a good experience on that cigar.
Yes, and I love it.
You know, when you light half a cigar and then you keep puffing on it, you're setting yourself up for a bad experience.
Yes, you are. And then you're going to be mad and you're going to blame it on the cigar, and it really wasn't the cigar. It was you.
Right. And I am at the level now when a cigar burns badly, I realize that it was my fault.
Yeah, not the cigar.
Right. And so that's where everybody needs to be, is where you're like, okay, I can do this better than I did. Yeah. I need to start focusing on this to make my experience better.
And that's
take some responsibility for yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Quit being damn millennials. You know what I mean?
You put them out there. Put them out there.
Anyway, guys, that's going to wrap up this week's show. I hope you enjoyed it. And you know what? I'm going to give a hats off to this particular Gurkha experience.
Yeah. I have to own up to it.
I mean, you know what? We want to thank you, Juan.
Yes.
Lopez. He has been a gentleman, and, you know, I'm not used to that. Most people that are around me are not used to that. But I want to give him hats off because he impressed me with the way he handled
the situation.
A situation that I could care less about. Yeah. It's not something that I'm focused on. I'm like, you know what? I don't like Gurkha. I'm not smoking them. And then I make a shirt so everybody can say that. But, you know, he handled it like a gentleman, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, because it changed my mindset. Everybody knows me. I was stoned against him. I ain't spending my money,
dude. I played jokes on you, by having you like you
taking a label off.
I don't like Gurkha. Whenever I take a label off and give it to you, telling you that it's something that you really like, but you don't know what it is.
And then I smoke it, and I'm like, man, and you're like, I knew I didn't like it, and throw it out. See, but like
it's not fair. It's like not fair because that's our prejudgment.
Yeah, and we took our prejudice and we have to get rid of it.
Right.
Because he, first of all,
he reached out first. Like, I didn't reach out to him.
Yep, he reached out. He said, give us another try. And then he provided the product. Right. He said, I'll give you some sticks. We smoked them, and I have
to say. Lights out.
Both of them.
Boom. Boom. I was very impressed.
Yes, sir.
Very impressed. But anyway, guys, that's going to wrap it up for this week. And until next time,
keep smoking.
Boom.